Douglas Ducote, an American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic. I, Douglas Ducote, an American patriot by the grace of God, do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America from enemies foreign and especially domestic.
Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Good afternoon, Patriots, or at least it's afternoon here in Louisiana where I'm at. I'm currently about 35 miles from where a terrorist struck in New Orleans. I wish that I was not always correct about the things that I put out on my podcast. When those that call me a conspiracy theorist and fake news, when I trash Democrats and liberals and even Republicans when it comes to our southern border, for instance. I've been saying almost daily, especially on my show, for a few years now, that we will have another terrorist attack thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris' open border policies and the people that they put in charge with the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, the FBI. To give Christopher Wray at the FBI a little bit of credit, I have reported on him screaming at Congress that there's going to be a terrorist attack and that they're catching terrorists coming across our southern border. And it's just a matter of time because there's cells here and they're waiting to do massive destruction to you and me. I closed out my show last night telling you to watch your six, have your head on a swivel, whatever you're doing. Pay attention to your surroundings because there are people here in America waiting to kill you and me, thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. At least 10 people are dead. Probably more will die shortly. 35, at least, are injured or severely injured after a man drove into a crowd with a truck on Bourbon Street in New Orleans in the early morning hours of New Year's Day. That was around 3 a.m. this morning. The FBI is investigating the mass casualty attack as an act of terrorism. And New Orleans Mayor LaToya Cantrell and New Orleans Police Superintendent Anna Kirkpatrick have called the incident intentional attack. Now, some of what I'm going to tell you is it's a fluid situation right now. There are a lot of things coming out that are not true. All right. Keep that in mind. Whether you're listening to CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, the BBC, Fox News, they're all getting things different. So I went to the source. I have several sources in Louisiana, being a veteran law enforcement officer, and I'm talking directly with those in local law enforcement. And also NOLA.com, as well as The Advocate and our local news media are getting more of this correct and straight than the major news media is getting. It's all over the frickin' place with them right now. Some of them, for instance, haven't even said that the terrorist name has been released. That was released an hour ago. He's been identified as 42-year-old Shamsud Dun Jabbar after he ran over people on Bourbon Street in New Orleans. He exited his truck in military-type garb and got in a shootout with local law enforcement, who then killed him. There were several officers that have been injured. I do not know what their status is at the moment. They picked this date on purpose. A, it's close to the border. B, it's going to have the most people in one location other than New York City for New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, because it's Bourbon Street, New Orleans, where they get millions of tourists. And then, besides the millions of tourists that came down there just for New Year's, tonight playing in New Orleans, just blocks away from where this terrorist struck, is the Superdome, which is where they're holding the Sugar Bowl this evening. That may or may not be canceled, depending on more information to be released. The terrorist had in his truck an ISIS terrorist flag. The truck is on video crossing into Texas from Mexico approximately 10 days ago. But the FBI does not know if this terrorist that was involved in this was actually driving the truck, or was it another terrorist or maybe drug cartel bringing the truck across and then turning it over to a cell of terrorists? That is being worked by many angles right now. They're trying to determine, are there more terrorists out there about to do more damage? Regardless if it's connected to this incident, I assure you, there are terrorist cells in America waiting to kill you and me. That's a fact. Then, as law enforcement is dealing with him on Bourbon Street and killing him, New Orleans Fire Department is responding to a fire that broke out in an Airbnb. And then they've now come to find out that it was probably intentionally set by this terrorist because that's where he stayed at. And then set it on fire to get rid of evidence when he left to go do this mass murder. Law enforcement officers and bomb squad detectives were called to 1329 Mandeville Street after firefighters put out the flames. And investigators are saying at this time it was rented to the terrorist in the Bourbon Street attack. While I am beyond thrilled and happy that we are done in just 20 days with Biden and Harris, that's going to be 20 very long days. Very long. The amount of damage that this current administration has done to this country and the world, for that matter, is criminal. It's criminal. I have been saying that Republicans need to charge Joe Biden and his administration with terrorism themselves. Charge them with treason for what they did in Afghanistan and the withdrawal, where they left behind billions of dollars to fall into the hands of our enemy, ISIS, the Taliban, and those sorts, so that they can be used on the battlefield again one day to kill American forces. That is a treasonous act, aiding and abetting the enemy. It's in the Constitution. It's in our laws. And Republicans need to look at it. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and their administration committed treason with what happened in Afghanistan. Now, so is this open border. Now a terrorist attack in America, in New Orleans, because of Joe Biden and this administration's open border policies. A terrorist has come into America and now killed people. That's aiding and abetting the enemy. That is treason. Once again, Republicans, you now have all three branches of government in America. It is time that you do something with that power. And this administration needs to be held accountable. The blood of these dead men and women is on their hands. Make no bones about it. That's a factual damn statement. It is absolutely despicable what Joe Biden and Kamala Harris has done to this country and continue to do. So I'm calling on Republicans, and you should too, reach out to your members of Congress and your senators. Send them emails. Send them messages on their Facebook accounts, on their Twitter accounts, their websites. Send them emails, send them messages, be polite, and tell them to do their job and start charging when they take over on January 20th. The people in leadership positions, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Alejandro Mayorkas with Homeland Security, at a minimum, those three need to be charged with treason, aiding and abetting the enemy. That's what they've done. It's in our Constitution, Republicans. Make sure you say that in your messages to them. Call them, get them on the phone. Might not be able to do it today, being New Year's Day, but you can do it tomorrow. And tell them exactly what I'm saying. Write it down if you have to, or refer them to this video once it goes up as a regular video from this live broadcast. Share this link with them so they have no doubt. It is treason to aid and abet the enemy. And that's what they did, this administration, with Afghanistan withdrawal, leaving the billions of dollars of military equipment in the hands of terrorists. And that's what they did on our southern border by allowing terrorists to come over here and kill Americans. It's treason. And Republicans, get off your ass this time. Don't do like you did the last time when you had all three branches of government and you didn't do shit. We can't tell anybody what you got accomplished when you had all three branches of government the last time. Sure as hell wasn't our border. It's up to us, we the people, to protect ourselves and our families. This administration can't do it, and they don't want to. They don't want to. This has got to be, I thought Jimmy Carter was the worst president in our history, the weakest president in our history, the president that did the most damage to our country in our history, until these two clowns, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, came along. That is how pathetic this is. When you're worse than Jimmy Carter, those of you that are around my age, I'm 62, you know damn good and well what Jimmy Carter did to this country. Yeah, he made some beer and the beer sucked and he had some peanuts and I never ate them. But he didn't do shit as a president that was worth a damn for our country. It's up to us, you and me, to get the message out there, to tell your friends, tell your family, watch this video so they understand the connection between treason and this current administration. And if they read the Constitution and if they just Google the word treason, you will see without a doubt that there are members of this administration that need to have that charge brought against them. Even though, yes, they're out of power in 20 days. What they've done in the past 4 years is treason. And damn it, they need to be held responsible for their actions. As a combat veteran myself and a veteran law enforcement officer, I assure you that what this administration has done with this country is criminal. It's horrible. And it's time that someone is held responsible for this crap that they brought upon us. As there's more information that comes out, I'll talk about it or do a video about it or even maybe come back live. Again, it's a fluid situation. Things are rapidly changing. There may be other people involved. They may be shutting down New Orleans shortly. I would assume they're not going to hold the Sugar Bowl because of what happened, but I don't know that to be a fact. And sadly, it's not over, regardless if it's connected to what happened today or not. There are other terrorists in America waiting to kill you and me because of this current administration, and that is a fact. Join me on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the normal live Douglas Ducote Show. And on Wednesdays, starting tonight, there will be a special program with me and my wife live. Hope you will tune in for that. I will let you know if there's any other breaking news or anything that's of major importance to put out to you. Other than that, please be safe. Watch your six. Keep your powder dry and locked and loaded and ready to protect your family, yourself, and possibly even our local law enforcement officers. Because if this is bigger, and it may be, there could be many things about to go down. And let's just hope they're not. As always, please say a prayer for our men and women serving in the United States military, our veterans, our law enforcement officers, our first responders, their families, our angel families, our blue and gold star families, and our country. May God bless the United States of America, and may God bless each and every one of you. Thank you. Please share this video far and wide on your social media platforms. Like and subscribe wherever you're watching me live at. I appreciate you. God bless.